All right. I'm live. Yes. What's up, everyone? So, you guys know the routine by now. My name is Will. I am a new traveler with intentions of becoming an expat. And I'm in my first country ever outside the United States. And that country is Brazil. Um, so, this is my first 30 days in Brazil. Actually, I'm in the city of Rio de Janeiro, and I'm staying in the neighborhood of Copacabana Beach. So I'm in my apartment right now that I'm renting for the next month. So I wanted to start this on an equal set of days, even though today is the third day of May. I wanted to just go, start on a Monday. I like to start on a Monday. And then just every day, I'm just going to come on here and share with you guys my day. What's it like? A couple of minutes. Try to keep these videos to like 5 minutes, basically. So I don't know if anybody is going to come in, but I'm just going to tell my story. So for the last 5 years, I've been meaning to travel. And I just recently, I got my passport. That was like 2 years ago. And I always wanted to come to Brazil. I always wanted to come to Rio. It's just always been a draw for me, especially with Carnival. So obviously, Carnival was out the question, but that's okay. I still decided to come anyway because I figured why put it off anymore? So here I am. I'm in Brazil. I'm in Rio, enjoying myself, having a good time. Copacabana is amazing. Um, I look forward to the rest of this entire month, meeting people, networking, growing my network, learning about the culture, the people, adapting, broadening my horizons. And so far, it's been a blast, man. I mean, the food is great. I've been eating better. I actually think I'm losing weight. I'll tell you more about that later. But and the neighborhood that I live in is in Copacabana. It's a wonderful neighborhood. I have a nice apartment. I'll give you guys an apartment tour later. As you can see in the background, that's my desktop connected to the monitor. So that's my mirror desktop. But yeah, the first day was basically, I tell you, don't travel on a weekend. Don't arrive on a country on a weekend. Saturday and Sundays is out. Fridays is out. You have Monday through Thursday to arrive in the country, unless you're going to arrive early Friday. This way you can be prepared. When I got here, the first thing that could go wrong did go wrong. My debit cards did not work at the hotel, so I could not check into my hotel. And luckily I had a debit card that was by PayPal, and that worked. And I was able to check into my hotel. So just be wary of that when you come to Rio. Your debit cards, credit cards may not work in the machines that they use. So it's important to have a significant amount of cash on you, at least to cover the first couple of days of your room, like 3 to 5 days of your room. So you can just get off the street and figure out what's the next move. Um, then my phone doesn't work. I have crappy T-Mobile. So just for you guys to know, AT&T is the preferred carrier for us that work down here. I think for $10 a day you get data roaming internationally. So I highly recommend you get an AT&T phone, SIM card, whatever, because T-Mobile and all these other carriers do not work. My phone was blown; it did not work. So that was that problem too. It only worked with the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi calling works good, and they also use a lot of WhatsApp down here. But as far as like using your phone like out in public in the street, it's not going to work at all. So that's pretty much what happened. The first day I arrived. I arrived. It was finally. I'm like, I'm here. I go through the airport, I go through customs, I get my passport stamped. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then I take a taxi to my hotel and I can't check in because the debit card doesn't work. So luckily I had a PayPal. I have a PayPal account. So luckily one of those cards uh, was significant enough with the funds to get me a room for a couple of nights so I could get off the street while I figured out what to do. And so after that, I said, let me book me an Airbnb because I know my cards that don't work with Airbnb. So I booked me an Airbnb for a month. This isn't an Airbnb though. This is actually a rental apartment. Like I really rent this apartment. I guess you could say it's my apartment. I don't have to leave. I can rent it as long as I want. I'm renting it right now for 6 months. I have a 6 month lease. So yeah, and we'll talk about that also later too, about renting apartments versus Airbnb. It depends how long you want to stay. But for me as a traveler, I like to immerse myself wherever I go. And so I plan to stay the full 6 months and I plan to stay longer if that's permissible. But that's not in my control. But I'm gonna go for it. But right now I know that my goal is to stay here 6 months, at least 6 months. So yeah, this is it. I'm just gonna get on here and talk to you guys about my day today. What did I do today? I just woke up. I had breakfast with a friend. Came back to here, did some work for a client of mine, and now I'm about to go back out with my friends. We're gonna go to the cigar lounge. I'll probably try to get some video, take some photos. Maybe if I can, I'll go live from the cigar lounge. But basically, every day when you come, you can expect to see uh, a story about my day in Brazil. Today's story was about the steak and eggs. It's very important that you learn Portuguese. Nobody here speaks any English. So, what I normally eat for breakfast here is steak and eggs. They make a good breakfast, pastries, things like that, empanadas, coffee, acai, things like that. But that gets boring after a while. So, I said, let me get some steak and eggs. So that's what I eat for breakfast, steak and eggs. And it's very interesting to explain that to them because sometimes they make the eggs and the eggs are runny, and I hate runny eggs, or they overcook the steak. So those little nuances, I don't know how to say them in Portuguese, but if anybody knows, please share with me how to say in Portuguese, medium rare steak, egg scrambled hard, meaning cook well. So, all right, well, I'm about to get off of this because it doesn't look like anybody's in the chat, but whatever, I plan to do this for the next 30 days. I'm going to do this one video a day and see where it goes. All right, I'm in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana Beach. Peace.